Switching out your bathroom vanity light is definitely a project you can do yourself relatively easily, and it doesn't take a lot of time or a lot of money, and it can make a big difference design-wise in your bathroom. Now, I picked a pretty basic one here because this is for a rental property and it's gonna get trashed anyway, and I want it to be able to be maintained and cleaned easily. But if you wanna pick something really cool and fun, go for it. It will make such a big wow in your space to change out your vanity light. Here's what we took out, and here's what we put in. Before you start, turn the power off, but then you got to get this light off. So mine had 4 screws that had been painted over what appears to have been many, many times. There were 2 on the bottom and 2 on the top, so I had to use a razor blade, and it took some doing to get a screw slot so that I could remove these with a screwdriver. So before we do anything, let's go ahead and double check that we have no power coming in here. So we have it turned off, but we're also gonna test. Okay, so we have no wires we need to worry about. So let's go ahead and take this one out that we're removing. We're gonna remove, because right here we have our green, our ground wires connected to the plate. Take that off. And then we have 2 little screws, well, looks like we might have more than 2. We have a screw here, and then some screws on the box. And then these are flatheads. I'm just scraping away the rough paint edge up to the edge of where the light was. I just want to see real quick if my new light covers or if I need to worry about matching texture. Okay, well the good news is this is going to cover all that ugly old stuff, and I can do a little bit of touching up if I have to. So now we're going to attach with this light our new bracket, and this big part, the ledge is gonna go up because it's gonna kind of hold while everything is bolted in. And we have in our kit, we have our nuts to connect our wires. We have some anchors for drywall if necessary. And then we have screws to go into the wall. And then we have screws to go into the electrical box. So first, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the ones into the electrical box. So the screws they gave, they don't have a big enough head to not fall through these adjustable brackets. So I'm gonna use the little bolts I had for there, and then I will balance out if I need to with the other screws that came with my kit. So I'm gonna go ahead and we are gonna go grab a level before we tighten anything all the rest of the way. All right, so I just want to make sure I have everything level, and I have it secured here, but it can kind of tilt because of the type of bolts I have, the bolts I'm in on my box. So they gave you these little screws, and they also gave you some anchors, so you can use the anchors if you need to. If not, you can just go ahead and put your screws in. You have 4 spots. It's going to help hold it level and in place. So we put our plate on the top, and that's where it sticks out. That's where this is gonna go on, and those little holes with our bolts are gonna attach. But we obviously have to connect our wiring first. So we are gonna go ahead and connect our ground wire first. So we can do like they did on the last time and put the ground on here and then attach it to the light. This is where it gets kind of tricky because if you don't have an extra set of hands, you kind of got to hold it while you attach it, and it's not super fun. And that beeping you keep hearing, in my pocket I have my electrical tester and I just keep hitting the button. So we're gonna do our ground wires first. Get those connected. Then I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna connect my white wire to my white wire. So my neutral to my neutral. And then we're gonna do our hots. So we're gonna connect our black wire to our black wire. And then we're gonna put all of our connections back in our box. And we do have a little bit of a cavity out here, so we have a little bit of wiggle room for those wires. Then we're gonna make sure none of our wires are sticking out. We're gonna set that back over our top plate. Now I gotta put those bolts in, but I don't have them, so I'm hoping that will balance. So these two little guys just screw down in the top and they're gonna hold the light on. Can't slip our light on. So the cool thing with these two is you have a couple of options. So there's a setting down here. You have a daylight, I think, maybe like a soft light, whatever, you have some options. I'm always gonna go the brightest because I like a bathroom that's nice and bright. So nice thing with this for a rental is easy to clean. You get light out the top, bottom, and the side, so it's nice and bright, but you can just wipe it down. It's one monolithic piece versus the old one.